chance to break out the paint and spruce up some things around the house. For some of us, painting is anything but fun, but one product hopes to change that and make the process a little less painful. Well, tonight, our Jeremy Baker puts the point and paint to the pros to see, does it work?
You've probably seen the commercials for it. The makers of the point and paint claim you can paint an entire room in less than an hour, no tape required. It also claims to run circles around fixtures without leaving a mess. Mike and John from 360 Painting of Cary are going to help us test out the point and paint. We've got the wall divided in half. John's going to test out this half using the regular brush, and then Mike's going to use the point and paint. So let's get started. Both of our pros are hesitant about the paint shop in a box. John opens the box, carefully reads the instructions, prepares the painting tray, and assembles the point and paint.
There we go. Just snaps right in.
First test up against the top crown molding without tape.
Goes right up to the molding, leaving a mess.
The same thing happens on the bottom molding, but Mike quickly realizes what the problem was.
Initially, I had too much paint in the point and paint, which caused the run and the additional paint to get on the crown molding.
With less paint, Mike heads into the corners, hoping the point and paint will prove itself. But things didn't get any better.
The proper amount of paint in the point and paint definitely affects its performance.
Now time to attack the outlet. Once again, the paint spilled over onto that as well. According to the makers, you can attach the product to any broom handle. That works, but Mike has an issue getting the point and paint to behave.
It seems to be pretty difficult to control.
So Mike ended up finishing the rest of the wall by hand rather than with a pole attached. Next up was John, who used an average paintbrush, still with no tape. John was able to cleanly paint the corners, top and bottom, and the roller to neatly and evenly apply the paint the old-fashioned way. Side by side, there are obvious differences, and not in the point and paint's favor. So in the end, how did Mike feel the point and paint lived up to its promise of painting a room in less than an hour?
You could paint a room in an hour with it, but you'd have to go back and spend a couple hours touching up and fixing stuff.
And that wasn't his only complaint.
Around corners and edges, it did not perform very well.
That appeared obvious. The brushed corners nice and neat, the point and paint corners very sloppy. As for Mike's final verdict,
I would say that the point and paint does not work.
Now, in the end, the pros say that while it may appear to be a little bit more tedious, you are likely to find better luck using a good old-fashioned brush, roller, paint, and tape. To ensure a better painting experience, we tried to reach the makers of the point and paint for comment. Our calls were not returned, but if you think the point and paint could work for you, you can locate it at a local retail store, Bed Bath & Beyond, for around $19.99.